ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारमवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through the study with Brahman. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om. Peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that you tie your Jnana Yoga or logic or the rational thinking at the corner of your cloth and then go for whatever yoga you can practice. Generally, there are 4 yogas which are the skills or the tools or the practice of spiritual upliftment. And among these 4 yogas, 2 are very important. One is Jnana Yoga, one is Bhakti Yoga. In Bhagavatam, it is very clearly said that which group, which the person is fit to practice what kind of yogas. And for Bhakti Yoga, it is said that those people who want to practice spirituality, want to be spiritual, but due to their commitment, social commitment, worldly commitment, due to their work, due to their role in the society and in the family, they are unable to get chance, sufficient time to practice spirituality. But they want to be spiritual. This kind of people, they are right fit in Bhakti Yoga. But at the same time, Sri Ramakrishna says that you have to tie the Jnana Yoga at the corner of your cloth. So in Bhagavad Gita, we find there is a samuchaya. It is called samuchaya in Sanskrit, a kind of integrated way of, it is called synchronizing. So synchronizing the Jnana and Bhakti, and it is called in Sanskrit samuchaya. That path was shown by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. We find that. So this morning I would like to tell you some philosophical aspect of Jnana Yoga. What is the practical use in our life of these principles of Jnana Yoga? You know, the world religions, all the prophets, they advised us not to be attached with desire. So desirelessness is one of the important aspects of spiritual life. So how? The question is, yes, we know that. The theory we know. But what are the techniques? How can we detach ourselves from the desire? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Sri Krishna elaborately explained step by step how we are attached with the desire and how slowly we will become angry and how we will destroy ourselves. Sri Krishna very elaborately, step by step, that first this one, second this one, third this one, like that Sri Krishna explained it. But there are, this is the beauty of Indian philosophy, sorry, there are other methods also. There are different methods we can practice to detach ourselves from the desire. So Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in 2nd chapter, he explained one of the processes. This morning I am going to explain you another process. Just for your reference, in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pingsho Sangaste Supajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate Krodhad Bhavati Varshneyo Sammoho Smriti Babribho Smriti Bhramshad Buddhinasho Buddhinashat Pranashyati. So these are the verses Sri Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. These are the different steps. How can we detach ourselves from desire? I am not going to explain this verse to you because this is not my subject matter this morning. How can we detach yourself from the desire? In Viveka Chudamani, these are the scriptures. In Viveka Chudamani, verse number 21, it is said, Tat Vairagyam, verse number 22, Virajya Visaya Bratad Dosho Drishta Muhurmuhu Swalokhe Niyata Avastha Manasa shama uchyate. It is called shama. When you have to practice spirituality, there are some preconditions. When you will go to gym to develop your body, you must follow some preconditions. Those are, you have to warm up your body. There are some processes of warming up, and so forth. Exactly in the same way, when we have to start spiritual life, there are some preconditions. We have to practice something. And this is then we can have a very smooth and fast growth in our spiritual life. So this is one of the things. It is called Shada Sampatti. Sampatti means wealth. 6 wealth. You have to practice 6 wealth. The first one is called Shama. And here it is explained, the first condition, how can you detach yourself from the worldly things? It is a mental practice. Sometimes we think that Indian philosophy always suggests that you have to confine yourself in a closed room and close your eyes and meditate. Meditation is the sign of spiritual practice, but always it is not. If we can think, the rational thinking, Jnana Yoga, it suggests us that those who cannot sit in a closed eyes in a confined room, they can justify themselves. They can rationally think. So this is the process of evolution, you know. It is said that definitely we have the biological evolution according to the Darwin, but we must have the evolution of our consciousness. So we are the instinctual human being. We must be the rational human being, and then we will have the spiritual human being stage. So that is the process of evolution in our consciousness. So we are instinctual. We are so full of desire that actually, if we think very carefully, we are guided and controlled by our desire, by our instinct. So detachment is the detachment from the instinct, detachment from the desire. So this is the process, one of the processes. Shama, the process, is suggesting us what it says. Virajya vishaya bratad dosho drishta muhurmuhu. Dosho drishta, you know, we find fault with others. It is our, you know, embedded characteristics, innate characteristics. If we start gossiping with our friends, within few minutes we blame others. If we are sad, we blame others because of such and such things, because of such and such persons. This is my condition. So generally, this is our natural trend, that we always criticize others and we blame others. So, dosha drishta, what we find faults and we criticize. Criticism means we are explaining their faults elaborately and logically establish that he is or she is wrong and I am correct. And because of him or her, this is my condition. So the point is this, dosha drishta, this is called dosha, find fault with others. This is called dosha drishta. Easily we find fault with other human being, but here in this verse it is said very emphatically that please find dosha, please find fault, and in this way we can get rid of attachment. What kind of fault shall we find? It is said that everything in this world is temporary. We cannot see or cannot find anything in this world which is permanent. Nothing is permanent in this world. Even a small particle, it is not permanent in this world. The cells in our body, it is not permanent in this world. Everything in this world is not permanent. This is the fault of everything. Try to emphasize this fault again and again. And then, by this technique, you can detach yourself. Take the example. You have bought a beautiful kind of shirt or beautiful kind of clothing. You are attached with that beautiful color, costly. But immediate after buying that, when you are going to buy, judge it, evaluate it, but when you have bought it, try to justify yourself. It is not permanent. It will go. Just try to detach yourself from the worldly things, that it is impermanent. Dosha drishta. Find fault with that particular thing and practice it. In this way, we can get rid of the attachment. Find faults. Instead of human being, find faults with the things in this world. Now, everything is impermanent. So the world is impermanent. That is the subject matter of my talk in this morning. The illusoriness of this world. This world is impermanent, but at the same time this world is illusory. What is mean by illusion? We have to understand what does it mean by illusion. Take some example. Rainbow. In one of the places, Swami Vivekananda said that the fountain is there and the rainbow is there. As long as the fountain will be there, so long as rainbow will be there. And he compared the rainbow as God, and the fountain is as it were the universe. So as long as we have the concept of world, so long as God will be there. So Brahman, in respect to world, is called God. Now the point is, how could we establish this world is illusion? So rainbow is illusion. You cannot cut a piece of rainbow and decorate your room. Always illusion cannot produce their effect. The mirage. You cannot fetch a bucket of water from the mirage. At night, there is a rope, And you thought, oh my God, in the garden, a rope is there, and at night, I think, oh my God, from where a rattlesnake has come. So in rope we can see the snake. But this snake cannot sting, because it is illusion. Illusion cannot produce any effect. But it is there. We cannot deny rainbow. Can we deny rainbow? We can see it. Can we deny mirage? Because we see it. The perception is the best proof. The snake, as long as we are not lighting up, putting on the light, we can see the snake. Till then, the snake is real to us. But this effect, this kind of illusion, cannot produce any effect. You cannot cut a piece of rainbow. You cannot fetch a bucket of water. This snake cannot sting you. So the point is, how can we establish? That means, what is illusion? Illusion will be there. We cannot deny illusion, because we can see it. But there is no any foundation. It is not there. We cannot use that. In reality, it is not there. But we can see that. So it is a statement of fact. This is fact. Illusion is there. It is a fact. But at the same time, it is not there. Now the world is illusion. How can we prove that? Let us go step by step, logically. It is a logical thing. We have to think it. There is no spirituality here, only a simple thinking and help of some philosophical principles. That's all. We have to take some philosophical principles, Indian philosophical principles, and we have to establish that. But overall, it is a logical thinking. As I have already mentioned, that how can you detach it? Because it is impermanent. Can we logically establish that everything is permanent? We cannot. However, the first point is, the first principle here is applied, that Brahman or the self is infinite. This is the first injunction, first premise. The self is infinite. What is the concept of infinite? What is the concept of infinite? Can we think infinite? Can we think infinite? We cannot think infinite. Why? Because if we think, it will vary. Your concept of infinite and my concept of infinite will vary. Secondly, if we think infinite, then we are limiting infinite by our thinking. Our thought can go to the certain extent. We can think maximum big. After that we cannot think. So infinite is bigger than that. So we cannot think infinite. Secondly, can we think there are two infinites? Is it possible to exist? Two infinites are there. It is not possible. Two infinite must not be there. That's why a beautiful verse is there, Sanskrit verse is there in Indian philosophy. It is called Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnameva Purnameva Avashishyate. Means if you cut some pieces from the infinite, what will remain? Only infinite will remain. Because infinite doesn't have any parts. Infinite is infinite. So, the first principle says that self is infinite. So, if self is infinite, do you think another world is also will be there? No, two things will be there. In infinite, always one. Can infinite be two? No. Infinite, always one. So if there is the existence of world, then we have two things. There will be no infinite, then world and the self will be there, or self will be infinite. That we have to accept. So we have two options. We are trying to establish this world is illusory. So either we have to establish world is illusory, no existence, just like a rainbow, or we have to establish this world is Brahman. There is no separation between the world and the Brahman. These are the two options we have. Now the first point is the infinite. So self is infinite. So world is not infinite. That means world is illusory. This is the first proof. The second proof, I am establishing right now the first one. That means this world is illusory. Then I shall establish the world is Brahman. World is nothing but Brahman. That I shall establish afterwards. I shall give 3 examples that world is illusory. The first logic is self is infinite, so world must not be infinite. World is only the name, nama and rupa, name and form. Let me give one example. The earthen pot. So earthen pot, if I justify that earthen pot is nothing but earth itself, is there any objection? Because earthen pot fully made of earth only. So earthen pot is made of earth, and it is nothing but earth. Only pot is the name. And earth is a definite form. So it is name and form. Earthen pot is a name and form. But in reality it is earth. Is there any wrong? Do you think that this statement is wrong? So, exactly in the same way, this world is in reality is Brahman. The name is world. There is a form. That's all. That name and form, it is there. But in reality, it is Brahman. And the Brahman is infinite. So there will be no existence of any other things. But we can see this world. That's why this is illusion. We can see the rainbow. We can see the mirage. But we cannot use that. World also, it cannot produce the effect. If we find the source of this world, we cannot find that because it is illusion. It depends, the earthen pot depends upon the earth. Individually, it doesn't have any existence. So this is first logic. And it is given in the Vedas. The second logic is Vedas, scripture. We have to accept the scripture. Why? We have to accept the books where Einstein's theory is written. We have to accept that. Why? Because they have proved that theory and they have written that. So the ancient rishis, they proved. They are the seers. They have realized and they have seen that. And they wrote the scripture. So that is the justification. First, the scripture. We prove that. Second, the God. The God said that it is illusion. Who is the God? Generally, in Indian concept or percept, Sri Krishna is considered as God. So Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says again and again that this world is illusion. Let us take some verses. As for example, I can give some verses from the Upanishads. Just the Tasmat etad brahma matram hi vishwam. Mundaka Upanishad. In Atharva Veda, it is under Atharva Veda. The Mundaka Upanishad is saying, Tasmat etad brahma matram hi vishwam. So brahma matram is Vishwam. Vishwam is this universe. Brahmaiva idam Vishwam. Again, it is said. Brahmaiva idam Vishwam. Brahmaiva, only Brahman, emphatically it is said. It is saying, Brahmaiva idam Vishwam. This universe is Brahman. Then Sri Krishna, God. Sri Krishna is saying, Masthani Bhutani. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 4, he says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat abhyakta murtina. I am pervaded in this whole world. The whole world is within me. I am not inside the world. He says, Matsthani sarva bhutani nacha aham teshu avasthita. This whole universe is inside me. I am not inside the world. Then again, chapter 9, he also says, Nacha mastani bhutani pashyame yogoisharam. This is my oisharja, this is my glory, this is my wealth. Out of yoga, everything here. Because in 11th chapter, he showed it to Arjuna. So that's the proof that God Himself is explaining that yes, it is there. And then the third one is that the Mahatmana, if we don't accept Vedas, if we don't accept God's version, then the learned men, they are also saying the same thing. Yes, it is that. The world is illusion. Why? Because it is not permanent. So permanency is the main key word here. It is not permanent. So do you think yourself is permanent? What is the proof? Are we ready to accept Vedas? Are we ready to accept Sri Krishna as a God? And Sri Krishna says that. Are we ready to accept Mahatmana, the wise person? Are we ready to accept that? The modern people say, no, we do not accept that. I want to experience myself. Can you prove it to me? I want to experience that. Indian scripture says, okay, you can also experience that. This world is illusory. How can you experience that? This world is illusory. Illusory means it is not permanent. You can see that, but it is not permanent. Sometimes it is there, sometimes it is not there. So let us go to the fallacy. Fallacy is this: the first premise is that this world is illusory. This is the premise. We have to resolve that. What is the reason why it is not permanent? Because in your deep sleep, the world is not there. World vanishes. Do you think that yourself is present in your deep sleep? Yes, we could understand. The world vanishes during our deep sleep. But do you think yourself is present in your deep sleep? What is the proof? What is the proof? Yes. Yes, this is proof number one. That you are aware that you had a deep sleep. So your awareness is there. That means you are present. The second thing is that if I ask you, were you alive during your deep sleep? What would be your answer? How can you know you were alive? In your deep sleep you were alive? How could you know that? That means definitely your awareness was there. Otherwise, you cannot prove that. That means in deep sleep, you were alive, you had the awareness, so yourself was present. Then what is the resolution? What is world like? It is like a dream. In dream, sometimes world comes and sometimes world goes. So this world is like a dream. So generally, the reason must tally with the final goal. So final goal, world is illusory. We have concluded also that world is illusory and self is infinite. Self is present all the time, eternal. So these are the three proofs. First, Veda claims this. Veda's injunction is this. That is, Tasmat etat Brahma matram hi Vishwam. Brahman is Vishwam only. If Brahman is Vishwam, if Brahman is the universe, then there will be no other things. No universe. Because it is infinite, it is present always. But we see this universe. How can we justify? This universe is illusion. Illusion means you can see it, you cannot use it. And it is not permanent. It is a statement of fact. It is there, but it is not there at the same time. Then God is saying, Sri Krishna is saying himself. That is the second proof. And the third proof, the wise people, they are also saying that. But beyond that, you can also realize that. This is the apart from that. Now, this is, universe is illusion. Now, universe is Brahman. So if it is illusion, okay, we cannot use that, it is just like, but we can prove also in other way. This Brahma, this world is the Brahman. What is the proof of that? Again, let us come to the snake and the rope. So what you are seeing, it is said in how you can see the rope or how you can see the pot. They say that you are seeing something, that means something is there. Take in the case of rope and snake. So if there will be no rope, can you see the snake? You cannot see the snake because rope is not there. Only when rope will be there, you can see that, okay, it is the rope. So something must be there. It is called, in technical term, it is called substratum. And what is the snake? Snake is superimposition. So on the substratum, so when we are seeing something, there must be a substratum. Otherwise we cannot see. But what we are seeing, that is not real, because that is the substratum. What is the vibgyor? What is the rainbow? Rainbow is splitting the light from the water particle. Water particle is acting like a prism. And sunlight is falling, and from that water particle, it is breaking into 7 vibgyor. So something is there. And that something is Brahman. So what we are seeing, that is nothing but Brahman. The substratum is Brahman. In reality, there is no pot. There is no pot, there is only earth. This earth is Brahman. This earth is reality. So when we see this universe, something is there in the substratum. And that is Brahman. So in reality, this universe, this Jagat is also Brahman. What we are seeing is illusory. We are not perceiving the right thing. Only we are saying the form and name. Pot. Take the example of the pot. Pot is a name and it has a definite form. So earth, any kind of earth, if it has a particular form, we call it by name pot. It is only form and name. Form we can break any time. Form doesn't have any importance. The substratum is important thing. The real nature is important thing. Exactly in the same way, the human being also. The verse says, Jivo brahmaiva napara brahma satya jagat mithyam jivo brahmaiva napara. Jiva means the human being. They are nothing but Brahman. Jiva is also Brahman. What is the proof? Take the example of pot. Pot has a definite shape. Pot has a definite name. You paint it, pot has a definite color. So these are all temporal things. We must take the truth That is why it is said absolute truth. Can you depend, can you believe your friend who always changes his or her stance? We cannot believe. So which is ever changing, we cannot believe that. We cannot depend on that. Can we depend anything in this world? How can we depend? Every moment it is changing. A Buddhist injunction is there, very famous. We cannot dip in the same river twice. Even the river. We cannot dip in the same river twice because the water is passing away. We are changing every 90 days. Our cells are dying every 90 days. Every moment we are changing. Can we depend? How can we depend? If we depend, if we believe, we will suffer. We will suffer. That is why Indian philosophy says detachment. Don't be emotionally identified with anything else. If you establish emotional identification, even if you establish emotional identification, you will expect something. And if you do not get the expectation, anger. That is another technique what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. If you depend, if you identified with something, you will generate some expectation. Dhyayato vishayan pungsho. If you are identified with something, sangaste supajayate. You become identified with that. And when you will identified with that, then kama, desire. You will generate desire. Expectation. When you cannot fulfill your expectation, what will happen? Anger. You will become angry. And when you will become angry, what will happen? Your logic cannot work. When your logic cannot work, you will become mad. And a mad person perish. That is the step. So, don't be associated, Sri Krishna's formula, don't be associated too much with worldly things. And here, another boost up, find fault with that. What kind of fault you will find? Impermanency. Always think, we are not permanent. Nothing in this world is permanent. What we are thinking, what we are planning, nothing is permanent. If we set up this kind of second line justification in our mind, our suffering will be lesser. This is the benefit that Sri Ramakrishna says, tie the knowledge, tie the Jnana Yoga at the corner of your cloth. And go for Bhakti Yoga or Karma Yoga, whatever you like. Do you have any question?
Maybe easier for us to appreciate that what we call illusory, it has a relative existence, but it does not have absolute existence.
Yeah, that is what I said. That is what I said. We cannot deny that. It is present. The rainbow is present, but it is temporary.
So
Yes.
So in this place, in this realm of illusion, we are still receiving these words of wisdom, taking them to be true as tools to get out of this illusion.
No, it is not taking as true. It is not assumption. You can prove that.
But it's all happening
Because it is not truth. What does it mean by truth?
permanent.
Pardon?
Permanent.
Pardon?
Permanent.
Permanent. What is the concept of permanency? Every moment it is there. That is the concept of permanency. Everything, every moment of your life, it is present. Can you please give one example? That everything, every moment of your life, it is present? Give one example.
Only consciousness.
Only self, only consciousness. Nothing in this universe you can find, every moment it is present with you. So that means that is only truth. All other are impermanent and not real. Unreal. The correct word is unreal. Unreal means not nothingness. Unreal means something is there which is not true. Yes.
Yeah, my question is, so if I take the example of the garage, right, in a desert, if a man comes to the garage and realizes that there's no water there, it's just a ground solution, but then that man goes and continues to dig, just for no reason, just to dig, but they know that it's an illusion, then we would say that it's a silly order, right? Like, why would you keep digging? If I see the world as an illusion in the sense of being like a dream, I struggle to understand why great saints like Sri Ramakrishna, upon realizing that the world is an illusion, continue to act in the world or try to share their teachings or so on. It seems like digging once you've realized it is an illusion.
Well, this is a kind of practical question. The point is this. The question he asked is this, that we know this world is unreal, but still we are struggling to live. We are struggling to get the benefit out of this world. So it is just like a person who knows that it is a mirage, but still he is going and digging the earth. It is just like that. So why it is? You see, it is the statement of fact. We cannot deny it is not there, because we see this world. We are living in this world. So we cannot say it is not there. The point is, what we are seeing, it is not correctly we are perceiving that. That is the point. Not correctly. We are seeing the earthen pot, but we are not correctly perceiving that earthen pot. We are perceiving the pot, but it is really earth. So our perception, we have to clear our perception. That is what we have to do. And as long as we have the human life, because we have this human life, this is also illusion. Okay? But we cannot deny. Our real thing we cannot deny. Our real thing is self. The earth is self. The form and name is Bhaskar, and with hairs and with this kind of thing. So that is the form. That's the form and name. But real nature is self. Real nature is self. Real nature is earth. So as long as we have to continue the name and form, so long we have to behave like that, but knowing that this is illusory. When you have in your backside of your head that yes, this is illusory, then you cannot take this world as a real. So everything, your attitude, your outlook, you can change your outlook, you can change your attitude. So you cannot suffer. That is the point. This is the point. Second step is the liberation. Forget about that. I am not talking about the liberation. I am talking about you can face the challenges of your life in a smarter way. But if you go beyond, if you practice it, you have the liberation. That is a different thing. Yes, please.
Yes, my question is, and thank you, Pranam and Swamiji, for the beautiful discourse. So, my question is that we the self, the infinite self, why are we experiencing this illusion? And why are we suffering when we are the ultimate and we are the true knowledge and we are that self? Why are we here experiencing and suffering? That is one. And second is, how can we get out of this illusion and actually live that, being that self, that the pure true self?
Very good question. The question is, why are we experiencing this illusion? The second question is, how can we get rid of it? This is the question. The first thing is, we are experiencing this illusion. It is because of our ignorance. Nothing but ignorance. We don't know. You know, a small baby, it kicks its mother or its parents because he or she doesn't know how to properly behave. Okay? They don't know. We don't know that it is illusory. So that is the point. We know it. Now, theoretically we know it. Now what is the second step? We have to contemplate it. We have to always contemplate it. Contemplation means we have to apply it in our day-to-day life, the knowledge, what we have heard. And then what is the third step? The third step is you have to meditate on it to internalize this kind of thing. There is two types of ignorance. In Sanskrit it is called ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. So it is called Tula Ajnana and Mula Ajnana. Tula Ajnana means the surface level ignorance. Surface level ignorance, knowledge. You are studying physics, chemistry, mathematics, philosophy, biology, other things. So those are the surface level ignorance. So you study those books and you remove your ignorance. But one is root ignorance. The root ignorance is this kind of ignorance. I is the root ignorance. It is called egotism or egoism. So you are different ego you have. You are a daughter, you are a mother, you are a sister, you are a friend, you are a colleague. So this all kind of role you are playing. And this identification of this role is ignorance. This is called mula. Why you are playing this role? Because these are ignorance. So when you can remove this ignorance, that you are what you are not all these things. You stop your playing and just watch the universe. Then you can remove this ignorance. And when you can remove this ignorance, you can understand this world is illusory. We have to work with that. So we cannot hold that. That is the point. The temporal thing we cannot hold. As for cinema, just consider the movie. So many things are going on, so many buildings, so many things. But you are not identified with that. You are not jumping to the screen. You know that is a white screen. All our picture, these are coming and going. So when you know this world is illusion, then you can deal with this world in a smarter way. That is the point. In future, definitely there is a liberation, there is all other spiritual enlightenment. I am not going to that part. At least you can face the challenges of your life smarterly. That is the point. So this is because of ignorance. If you can remove that is what I said in the beginning. It has no meditation, it has nothing, it's only rational thinking. Know the truth and think it. Orient yourself accordingly. Listen to it, reflect on it, internalize on it. Internalize those things by meditation. And change your consciousness. Transform your consciousness. That's all. Anything? No. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkham Apnuvat Sarvastarotu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarva Sadbuddhimapnotu Sarva Sarvatranandatu Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shantimapnuat Shantamucchete Bandhebhyo Muktaschanyan Vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Next Sunday at 11 o'clock, we have a talk on the 4 significances of worship. 4 significance of worship. Swami Prasannatmananda will be delivering this talk at 11 o'clock. And then, as usual, tea and coffee will be served from the Sharadananda Hall, which will be followed by Prasad Lanchin. You are requested to join. Thank you.